Today we take a look at the 2019 LA Galaxy schedule.
Let's talk about it.
Good Galaxy Night, and welcome to the first annual episode of the Good Galaxy Night podcast show. And this show will be starring yours truly and my good friend Valparaiso.
Hey everybody, this is Valparaiso here. And how are you guys doing tonight?
Now this show, it's going to be just the two of us. We are your two main hosts, and we'll be talking to you about Galaxy news. And this show will be probably every week. Now, there will be some times where Valpo will not be able to be in the show, and sometimes it will just be me alone. But most of the time, the two of us are the main hosts of this show, and we're just going to be talking about LA Galaxy news. That's pretty much it. So for today, for the first ever episode, we're going to talk about and make a review on the LA Galaxy 2019 schedule. I know we're kind of late because the schedule already got out, but, you know, it's not so bad making a review, you know? So, without further ado, let's get to work. Alright, my friend.
Alrighty then.
Alright, first match for the 2019 schedule, according here, for the LA Galaxy, will be on March 2nd against the Chicago Fire at home.
Ooh.
Not at what used to be called StubHub Center. Now it's called Dignity Health Sports Park. What a great name.
Yeah, the new name for the stadium really,
They could have gone with Sports Center. Now that would have been a little bit better. But
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that would have been better. I'm not a big fan of the new name. I like StubHub Center. I think StubHub Center is better than, what was it, Home Depot Center?
Home Depot
Yeah,
Center.
yeah, I think I like StubHub better than that. But the new one, it is what it is.
True. Well, I guess to put it in a more shorter way, we'll call it DHS Park.
All right.
Yeah, let's do that. So the Chicago Fire, let's see. In the Chicago Fire, you got Bastian Schweinsteiger, who did put a contract on the Fire for 1 year. So this could be the last year, who knows? But he will be playing for the 2019 schedule. Then you got Nikolic. He was a very good striker. But honestly, besides those two, I think the Chicago Fire kind of doesn't have that much of, like big players. They actually lost Alan Gordon, who retired by the end of 2018.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. He's out of the team. So besides him, and besides Bastian Schweinsteiger and Nemanja, I think that's his first name, Nemanja Nikolic, there really isn't that much of a big names in Chicago Fire as long as I can tell. So I want to guess, and if you ask me who's going to win, my vote will be in the LA Galaxy. How about you?
Yeah.
All right, 2 votes going for the LA Galaxy. Next.
No, definitely. I feel that them going against Chicago Fire, definitely this should be an easy win for LA Galaxy. I think Sebastian Schweinsteiger, is that how you say it?
Bastian Schweinsteiger.
Bastian. I kind of feel that that's their best player, and he's not exactly young either. So.
Oh, he's old.
And when I mean that he's not young, I mean that he's old.
I think I want to say that Zlatan is totally a lot better than Schweinsteiger.
Oh yeah. If they're close age wise, then yeah, I think
Zlatan
would run rings around Bastian.
Yeah.
Futbol Galaxy here is making fun of me because I have a hard time saying
Zlatan.
Zlatan's name.
Hey, you said
Hey,
it!
I said it! Woo! I got a free pinata.
Today's a good day.
Today's a good Galaxy day.
There you go. Good Galaxy Night. Never mind. All right, next up on Saturday, March 9th, FC Dallas. It's a home game, the first home game on the season 2 at Toyota Stadium. Now, FC Dallas has been one of the toughest teams in the Western Conference. This will be a more challenging game than the Chicago Fire. If you ask me who's going to win, I honestly don't know, because this last year's season, the Galaxy lost twice against the freak FC Dallas. That was not a good game. A game they should have won, and they conceded so many goals. And as of so far, the Galaxy still haven't quite fixed that much of the defense. They still have the same players. So the question is, who will win against FC Dallas? FC Dallas or the Galaxy? If you ask me, I kind of want to say FC Dallas, but to play more safe, my full vote on that match, I want to guess a tie. Because the Galaxy, I don't think they're gonna want to. Obviously, they don't want to lose, but FC Dallas is just a really tough opponent. So I kind of want to see a tie on this one. How about you?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, hopefully, a tie is like the best case scenario. I mean, they have Brian Acosta as a midfielder, and I believe they have Hedges as a defender. Hedges is a good defender, so yeah, I don't think that's going to be this team's going to be really easy for LA Galaxy. So we'll have to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah. That will be a game at 12:30 p.m., so stay tuned for that. And by the way, for the game against Chicago Fire, that will be 5 p.m. Pacific time. Next up, we got Minnesota United FC, as it will be a home game, so back to home here at LA. March 16th at 7:30 p.m. at DHS Park. We're not going to say Dignity Health Sports Park. That's way too much. You know what? I want to count how many syllables that whole name has. Dignity Health Sports Park. That's 6 syllables. Yeah, I'm not going to say that whole freaking name. Whose idea was it to call it Dignity Health Sports Park? I know it was the sponsor change, but still, why? Of course, we're not here to pretty much like complain about the whole name. We're here to review about the schedule. As for Minnesota United, all right, that game, the Galaxy have defeated Minnesota United 3 times in a row out of the 4 total games they played. They tied once, only one time in the 4 games they played. So far, they remain undefeated against Minnesota United. So for the question, will they beat Minnesota? For me, yes. The only 2 players that for me that are like the only big deal are obviously Darwin Quintero and Ibarra. But other than those 2, I think that should be an easy game, an easy win game. I want to say possibly 3-1, maybe even 3-2. But that is totally win for the Galaxy. How about you?
Well, I mean, Minnesota's got Ethan Finley, and he's a good midfielder. He's got a lot of pace. But I'm like you. They do have Ibarra, and I didn't realize this until just now. Quintero left America to come to Minnesota FC. That's crazy. That's the one player that LA Galaxy has to be careful with, because Darwin Quintero is like superstar, not superstar, but killer player on Club America in Mexico. So that's the guy they need to look out for.
If I remember correctly, I think Darwin Quintero scored a hat trick last season against LAFC in that 5-1 win against LAFC. So that should be like the main player to take a look at. Almost every team in any league has that one player that they should be careful with. So Darwin Quintero in this case is from the Loons. Next up, the Portland Timbers at March 31st, 2019, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Again, a home game at DHS Park. The Timbers. The Timbers, you have a lot of good players. You got Diego Valeri. You got Diego Chara, who is a really good mid defender. You got Blanco. This will be a tough game. The Galaxy did defeat the Portland Timbers in the first home opener last season. It was, I believe, a 2-1 win. Then the next time they played, they tied 1-1. But then in the U.S. Cup, they lost against the Timbers. So, to the question, will they defeat the Timbers? That's going to be a tough match, but I do think they're going to win. I think this will be a win. If it's not a win, definitely a tie. But I'm certain this will not be a defeat. It's either going to be a win or a tie, but most likely a win.
I'm 100% with you. I think this. I'm convinced they're going to win. I think this. I don't see Portland Timbers the way you do. I think they're pushovers. They do have Diego Valeri. That's somebody to look out for. But more or less, again, LA Galaxy. Unfortunately, their defense is kind of on the weak side. But this should be a slam dunk. This should be an easy win for them.
Yeah. All right. Next up on the list, we got the Vancouver Whitecaps. This will be an away game at BC Place, April 5th. It's going to be a Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Now, the Vancouver Whitecaps are a team that should not be underestimated. They are a really good team, and with them, they did used to have Alphonso Davies, not anymore though. But as for the roster, they do have Kamara, who is a good player on their team. They got De Jong, a not so bad defender, and I guess other than
Kamara, just
Kamara,
Kamara,
yeah,
yeah.
just Kamara. This is the only player that the Galaxy should be worried about. So for the question, will they defeat the Whitecaps? I do believe that will be a win for the LA Galaxy.
Yeah, again, just like the Timbers, even more so, really. I think LA Galaxy should just be able to pierce right through the Whitecaps. They do have Kamara. That's their number one player right there. But we've got Alessandri. We've got
Alessandrini.
Alessandri. What did I say? Alessandri. Alessandrini and
Zlatan.
Zlatan. I can't say the dude's name. Zlatan. There we go.
There you go.
They have him. And to a lesser degree, we have the Dos Santos brothers. I don't personally like these guys anymore. But yeah, Whitecaps, they're going down. Yeah.
Yeah. Next up, we got the Philadelphia Union. It will be a home game, April 13th on Saturday, 7:30 p.m. at DHS Park. You know, the whole shebang. Now, the Philadelphia Union. Now, there's one player that I am interested in him. When I play FIFA,
Who's that?
I kind of want to get him. Sometimes a little bit, not so bad. Bedoya. They have Bedoya.
Oh.
They have Andre Blake, who used to be one of the top
Men's
goalkeepers
USA
in the
team.
league. They have Andre Blake, Bedoya. Let's see what else. I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So other than that, Bedoya, he's a pretty good defender, and Blake is a goalkeeper that both strikers, either if it's Zlatan or Gio Dos Santos, whichever, should keep an eye out. Do not underestimate him. He is a good goalkeeper. Take a look to just keep an eye out. But for the question again, will they win? Will they defeat the Philadelphia Union? I do believe so. I think the Galaxy will actually do. They could win against Philadelphia Union. I cannot see them lose. I can see them probably tie, but I can see they win.
Yeah, I don't see the Philadelphia Union being a big challenge for LA Galaxy. They have Alejandro Bedoya, men's national team. I think that's really a plus for them. I don't know anything about Andre Blake. It sounds like what you're saying is like it would be a real challenge for our strikers.
I mean, not so much of a real challenge, but
No?
it will be a little like maybe a slight difficulty.
Okay, all right. Well, other than Andre Blake, they got Bedoya. That's a good thing. But yeah, I mean, it should be another win for LA Galaxy, I would think.
Next up, the Houston Dynamo. Now this team, the Galaxy, they did not defeat the Houston Dynamo as they should have last year. So this game will be a home game on Friday, April 19th, 7:30 p.m. Houston Dynamo. Well, come to think of it, I think the only good player they have is Marcus Beasley, A.G. De La Garza. They have two defenders that used to play for the Galaxy. So other than that, I kind of don't really think they have such big names. Let's see here. De La Garza, DeMarcus Beasley. He used to play for the men's national team.
Yeah, DeMarcus Beasley. Yeah, really good.
Kevin Garcia. Maybe McNamara. Tomo Martinez. I mean, don't get me wrong. This team should not be overestimated. But as for the question, as usual, once again, will the Galaxy defeat Houston Dynamo? Now that we have a new coaching staff, I think with Guillermo Barros Queloto, the Galaxy should be back. Hopefully we can start winning games that we should win. So for the question, will the Galaxy win this game? I hope so. I do believe they win. I just really hope they do win, because if they lose, I'm going to be mad. Because this is a game we should win. So for the question, will they win? Yes. I hope they do.
Yeah, it seems like the Dynamo is a little bit more of a challenge. Don't underestimate DeMarcus Beasley. Amazing in the U.S. national men's team when he was on. The other player that I would also keep an eye on, not that he might not even play that day, would be A.J. De La Garza. Because as ex-LA Galaxy, I would be, he kind of knows the team. So that would be another person that I would keep an eye out for. Hopefully, good luck to the LA Galaxy. Hopefully, they can they can grab the win this time.
Next up, we got once again Minnesota United. We already reviewed Minnesota United.
Yeah.
It will be at their home. For the first time, the Galaxy will be playing a game at Allianz Field. That's the new home for Minnesota United. It will be on a Wednesday, April 24th, 2019 at 5 p.m. And honestly, I think that's going to be a win. Maybe even a tie, but definitely not a loss. Hopefully not a loss. That's, I think, for me, a win.
Yeah, absolutely. There's not much for me to say.
Yeah,
I agree.
All right, let's skip that. Real Salt Lake. Oh, first time the Galaxy will play against Salt Lake.
There you go.
It will be a home game at DHS Park, Sunday, April 28th at 5 p.m. That's an easy game. I honestly think that's a really easy game. The Galaxy should win, and I honestly don't think what worries that could happen. I mean, yes, anything is possible. Anything can happen in the world of football, but still, we're talking about RSL. They haven't won a single. Yeah, they haven't won a single MLS Cup. I think.
I don't know.
I don't know either, but they have sucked, to be honest. They haven't. Yeah, they did go into the playoffs this year. Come to think of it. Yeah, they did go to the playoffs in 2018, but I think they should be a win. I mean, I could be overestimating them, but I do think it's going to be a win.
With these guys, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say yes. I say LA Galaxy is gonna be able to win these guys. They do have Kyle Beckerman, men's national team again.
You have Acosta. He has a good pace.
Yeah. We've got Nick Rimando as a goalkeeper. He's not exactly a pushover. And Tony Beltran a little bit over there too. The thing with Beckerman and Rimando though is that they're also older guys. So
Nick Romano kind of sucks at goalkeeping though.
he kind of sucks at goalkeeping.
Zlatan totally humiliated him the last time they played.
That is, you know what? That is true. When he goes up against Ibrahimovic,
let's just call him that way.
Let's just call him Ibra. When he goes up against Ibrahimovic just cuts right through the guy.
Yeah.
So
I think for me, the only player who they should be worried about is probably Joe Plata, only because of his pace. But other than that, for me, I think no one.
All right. Moving on.
All right. Moving on. We got yeah.
Right along.
The New York Red Bulls.
Now we're talking.
Now, last season, the Galaxy lost against the Red Bulls. I believe it was a 4-2 score. But previously, in 2017, they defeated the Red Bulls 3-1. So it's been going like up and down, win and lose. Now, here's the question. Will the Galaxy win against the Red Bulls? Now, let's not forget what happened last season. The New York Red Bulls won the Supporters' Shield, and they got to the semifinals of the Eastern Conference Champion. No, they did go to the finals of the Eastern Conference Championship. They were about to go to the MLS Cup, but they were defeated by Atlanta United. So here's the question. Will the Galaxy defeat the New York Red Bulls? This is going to be probably one of the toughest matches the Galaxy will have so far in the schedule, besides the match against FC Dallas, if you ask me. Possibly among the list against Portland Timbers, but so far, what are the toughest matches so far we've reviewed for the Galaxy in the 2019 schedule? So far, I think the New York Red Bulls will be probably the toughest so far, only because of their players. You got Bradley Wright Phillips. You have you used to have Tyler Adams, but you have Aaron Lung. You got
Alejandro
Romero. Yeah, New York Red Bulls has a lot of good players. And not to mention, they have a history of having good players. For example, they had Thierry Henry back in the day. Yeah, back in the day. You got Kemar Lawrence. He's a pretty good left back. In fact, I want to say now that Ashley Cole is out of the Galaxy and MLS so far, Kemar Lawrence could become the best left back in the league. You got, like I said, Aaron Lung, Bradley Wright Phillips. I think that's the key player they should all be worried about. Tim Parker, he's a pretty good defender. And there we go, Luis Robles. That's the goalkeeper.
Luis Robles, yes.
He's a good goalkeeper too.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
You got Kaku, who's a pretty good midfielder too as well. Bradley Wright Phillips, he's a pretty good striker. But that was not what I was gonna say. What I was going to say was that the New York Red Bulls has a lot of good players, and this is gonna be a really good challenge for the Galaxy. And like I said, so far in the schedule, I think this will be the toughest match so far, besides the one against FC Dallas and probably against Portland Timbers. And for the question, will the Galaxy win against the New York Red Bulls? Oh boy, I'm sorry, but for this one, I kind of want to say no. Because we're talking about a really tough team. We're talking about one of the top 3 toughest teams in the Eastern Conference. Yeah, I don't think we might win this one.
I don't think we're winning this one either. The mystery here is the new coach. is the new coach going to be able, by then, have LA Galaxy working again as a well-oiled machine? I am a die-hard LA Galaxy fan. I have faith that they're going to come back and become the superstar team of the MLS like they used to be, like in the glory days. It just takes the right players, it takes the right coach. I think we've got good players, especially with Ibra. I am adamantly want Giovanni Dos Santos as far away from the LA Galaxy as possible. But that's the mystery. Like, how is this coach gonna work out? If the coach can turn the team around, then we might tie. We might win the Red Bulls. Because if it's like business as normal, like lately, we're gonna lose.
Yeah.
What are we looking at? Kemar Lawrence, Luis Robles. Those are the good players for me that they have on their team, and their ace in the hole, the secret weapon, Bradley Wright Phillips. I mean, people in Europe are talking about bringing him into, I think into English Premier League. I'm not sure, but that's the guy that we have to worry about.
Oh yeah.
One of the best players in MLS right now.
I think he was no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
No.
But
You're wrong.
I was gonna say he wasn't the best MLS 11 this last season, but he wasn't. I think he was in the 2017 one. But other than that, you could say that he's like the Zlatan of New York Red Bulls. Or the Ibrahimovic, Ibra, same thing.
Ibra.
The Lion, God of Goals. He has many names.
God of Goals.
He has many names.
You want me to put down the football?
Marvel should actually make a movie about him. Yeah. Marvel Studios presents.
I want to download that video game and play it. I always say I'm going to do and never do.
Oh, the Zlatan game.
The Ibrahimovic mobile game. I want to see that.
For those who have no idea, if you go to the Play Store, there's actually a Zlatan game which you can play, and it's actually kind of fun. Look challenging. You should download it and try yourself and post in the comments, see if you like it or not.
By the way, we've been sponsored by the
Zlatan mobile game.
Yeah, I know. Sell out. All right, next.
Columbus Crew. Ooh, one of the oldest teams.
Columbus Crew.
One of the oldest teams. In fact, Columbus Crew, along with the Galaxy, is one of the only 8 of the original 10.
That's where that traitor went to.
Jesse Zardes. That's right. I bet no Galaxy fan has forgotten about that.
These guys are not. I'm gonna. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but these guys are not a pushover. They got Federico Higuain. They've got Jesse Zardes. They got Will Trapp. This is not a pushover team. Mm-mm. I mean, we could still win them, but I would not let my guard down with this team. Especially Zardes is always going to take pleasure in beating the LA Galaxy. So I think that every time the Crew plays against the Galaxy, there's an extra motivation for Zardes to look good. So we have to keep our eyes out for him.
Right. So for Columbus Crew, it will be an away game at Mapfre Stadium, and let's see the players. I think, to be honest, there's 2 main players you should be... No, 3. 3 main players you should be careful. Federico Higuain, like you said.
Yep.
They have... Do these? Yeah, they do. They have Zach Steffen. Now, Zach Steffen is the most...
Is he good?
The best goalkeeper in the league.
Oh, crap. Okay, we're not winning this one, dude.
He was in the MLS Best 11 last season. See, that guy is probably like the big wall that the Galaxy has to break through. And then, obviously, you have Jesse Zardes. Now, goes the question. Will the Galaxy win? For me, last season, the Galaxy defeated Columbus Crew pretty easily. I believe it was like a 3-0 score. That was a very good game and a very good win. Will they win? For me, I actually do want to say yes. I think it would be pretty cool. I think they could totally do this, and with the new coach, I think the Galaxy could pull through and defeat the Columbus Crew, and I think this should be a winning game. For you, it's a loss?
Yeah, for me, it's a loss. Again, it really depends on the coach. I really want to see the LA Galaxy just like shine, but I think for this, yeah, it could be a tie, but yeah. There's a lot to worry about on this one. The LA Galaxy should definitely not let its defenses down with this team.
Well, in this part of the season, like during the month of May, it will be complicated because for one thing, you got New York Red Bulls. Second, you got Columbus Crew. So far, these have been Eastern Conference opponents. And then on May 11th, which is the next game, on Saturday, May 11th at 1 p.m., you're going to hate this, New York City FC. That game, I do believe we're going to lose.
Yeah.
We haven't the game against New York City FC since Steven Gerrard came and since NYCFC came into the league. They have been the toughest opponents. It's been like up and down, win and lose, win and lose. Last season we obviously lost 2-1. It was a tough game. I will admit that. And I don't remember the last time we actually defeated New York City FC. I honestly don't. This will be a home game against at DHS Park, and as for the players, well, David Villa is out of the team, so the main star is officially out of NYCFC, leaving us with other players, which I kind of don't know. Because David Villa is like Zlatan, like he's like the big name that everyone is like, oh, Galaxy, yeah, they have Zlatan. For NYC, oh yeah, I know NYFC, they have David Villa. No, well, now they don't. So as for the players, I kind of don't think. Honestly, now that I think about it, now that they don't have David Villa, I think we could actually stand a chance. Because honestly, all these players, they're not exactly big names. I mean, the goalkeeper got Sean Johnson, but I don't know. I really haven't heard any reviews of how good he is. Maybe Jesus Medina. Maybe Jesus Medina could be a good player to keep an eye out. James Sands, Ben Sweet. Yeah, I mean, I think now that David Villa's out of this team, we actually could have a chance. Maybe the only other guy would be Daniel Bedoya. But other than all that, I think we could have a chance. So, for the question, will the Galaxy defeat new NYCFC this year? I think this year it will be a tie. Not a win, possibly not a win, hopefully not a lose, but I'm going to put my vote into a tie. How about you?
I say they're going to win. I think we have more to worry about with Red Bulls than we do with Football Club. Like you said, David Villa is gone. That was their Ibrahimovic. None of the guys. I mean, I'm not saying sometimes you may have, and you've seen this in in Europe, where one guy is carrying the whole team. None of these guys really stand out for me, any of their players, but you never know. They might play excellent as a team, So there's no superstars, but as a team, they just steamroll everybody.
Yeah, they could still win.
Yeah, they could still win. But as it is right now, and I don't know a lot about these guys. I don't follow them all that much. I would say we're winning. I say we're going to win these guys.
All right. Next up, home game. Another home game. Sunday, May 19th, 2019, 5 p.m., DHS Park, the rest, against the Colorado Rapids. Now, this team, do I not like this team, and I'll tell you why. This team is extremely unpredictable, and I'll tell you why. Yes, it's the Colorado Rapids. Yes, they haven't won a single MLS Cup, and yes, they've pretty much not been able to go to the playoffs sometimes, but when you play against them, especially at home, they do become a tough team. Like, all of a sudden, they became oh, these little guys, to holy shoot, these guys are freaking big. So, yeah. Will the Galaxy defeat Colorado Rapids? Last season, the Galaxy lost to the Rapids, and I believe they won against them. So, I want to say they lost twice, but I think they did win. I can't remember. But I think they did. I think they tied. You know what? Yes, they tied against the Rapids, I think, and they lost one game against the Rapids. Please correct me. Post in the comments to correct me if I'm wrong. I don't exactly remember. But as for the Rapids, they actually have been going to work. They have been signing new players such as Kamara from the Whitecaps. I just remembered.
Yep.
The Whitecaps don't have Kamara anymore. Colorado Rapids now have Kamara.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So, and they have Kellen Acosta.
Yep.
So I think this year, Colorado Rapids will be actually a more tougher team than last season. That I can guarantee you. They have Kellen Acosta, Nana Boateng, who obviously he is pretty good with the speed. You got Benny Fellhaver. They bought him from LAFC. He's a really good defender. Let's see, Tim Howard. Tim Howard is not a pretty good goalkeeper. Let's be honest. He's not the big legend we remember from back in 2014. Rest in peace.
All right.
Diego Rubio. They got Diego Rubio. Oh, no way. They actually got Diego Rubio. Did they actually sign Diego Rubio from Sporting Kansas City? Oh, yes. This is gonna be a tough game, my friends. Oh yes, it will, because they have Diego Rubio, who is one of the best strikers in Sporting Kansas City. Please correct me if I'm wrong. If this is a different Diego Rubio, but I'm pretty sure this is the same Diego Rubio from Sporting Kansas City. So we can see from this that the Colorado Rapids have been pretty much going to work. They've signed these great players, and now with this analysis, they have K Kamara.
K Kamara, yeah.
Yeah. So wow, I did not realize that.
Yeah, I think you're underestimating these guys.
Yeah, the Rapids have pretty much boosted themselves. They're totally going to become a tougher team than last season. And now with this analysis, here comes the question.
Here comes the question.
Will the Galaxy defeat Colorado Rapids? Oh boy, this is going to be a tough match. We cannot underestimate the Rapids. Nope. So here's my votes. I want to see a tie. It could even be a loss to be honest, but I want to go more for a tie. I honestly don't know. I hope we can win. Just keeping that in mind. I don't make me wrong. I hope we can win, but my vote's going to be a tie, to be honest.
All right. So again, if LA Galaxy is not on their toes, they're losing this one. They've got Kellen Acosta. Anybody with the last name Boateng should be feared. They've got Benny Hillfiber. He's a classic U.S. national men's team. I mean, he's a little on the older side, but again, seasoned pro. Tim Howard. I don't care what your opinion is, my friend, Futbol Galaxy. Tim Howard is the best goalkeeper that ever was, ever is, and ever will be. And that beard, man, come on. And they got K Kamara, and I've never heard of this. What was the guy, Diego Rubio guy before? But they've got it. They've got lots of aces in their hands. So I would not. LA Galaxy needs to be on their tippy toes when it comes to these guys, because otherwise there's a loss in our future.
Right. All right. Next up, we got Orlando City SC at Orlando City Stadium. Away game at May 24th. It's going to be a Friday. The last time the Galaxy played at Orlando City Stadium was in the 2017 season, and they lost, unfortunately. But that was back when the Galaxy was at its worst point. And yeah, I'm just not going to remind that 2017 year. worst year in LA Galaxy history. Let's not talk about it. All right, so for Orlando City, this is a decent team. They are not to underestimate. They have Dom Dwyer. Dom Dwyer is, to be honest, the best striker in the whole entire team. They have Sacha Glajestin. He used to play for New York Red Bulls, actually. He moved to Orlando City. He did score about 2 goals, maybe even 3 or 4 or 5 in the last season. I'm not sure. But they do have those 2 big names, Sacha Glajestin and Dom Dwyer. They even have Joe Moutinho now. Joe Moutinho, he used to play for LAFC. They have him possibly by loan or trade. I'm not exactly following the trade market, but I think maybe I don't know. But they do have Joe Moutinho in the squad. And Joe Moutinho, to be honest, is a pretty good player, even though you know me, I'm not an LAFC fan, but I have to admit he's a pretty good player. So I think those are like the big 3 names you should keep an eye out. Sacha Glajestin, Dom Dwyer, and Joe Moutinho. Now for the question. Will the Galaxy defeat Orlando City SC? Orlando City SC, I said FC. Orlando City SC, I want to say yes. I do think it actually could become a win.
I honestly don't know much about these guys, so I'm just going to have to take your word for all this. João Moutinho is probably the only name I really recognize on their roster. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Next up, boy, this is not going to be good. We're talking about the big giant of the Western Conference. Sporting Kansas City.
Sporting Kansas.
At Children's Mercy Park, Wednesday, May 29th at 5:30 p.m. And by the way, for the Orlando City game, it would be at 4 p.m. May 24th, if I didn't say that. I might have skipped the Colorado Rapids game that was at 5 p.m. But back to the Sporting Kansas City, again, May 29th, Wednesday. It's going to be a Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Children's Mercy Park. Sporting Kansas City is the typical team you should definitely not underestimate. These guys are extremely tough. They were top place in the Western Conference. They did not win the Supporters' Shield, but they did win first place in the Western Conference. And they did go into this Western Conference Championship final against Portland Timbers. Even though they did lose against the Timbers, they still got to the Western Conference Championship. Now for the players. They got pretty good players.
We got Matt Besler.
They got Iko Para, one of the best defenders
Yep.
in MLS and in the team. They got Johnny Russell, one of the best strikers in the whole team as well. And they have Graham Zusi. We cannot forget the big man himself, Graham Zusi. These guys are a decent team. They are not to be messed with. They're pretty much the Western Conference giants. The very last time the Galaxy played against them last season, they tied, I believe, 1-1. That was a tough game, and I do not blame them for tying. Back when in the second half of the season, when they were doing pretty decent. Now here comes the question, and this is gonna be tough. Oh, by the way, they have Tim Melia, one of the second best goalkeeper in the whole league.
Oh.
Besides Zach Steffen. So you should take totally. He made a huge save in that game against SKC with the 1-1 tie.
Yep.
So that's the question. Will they win against Sporting Kansas City? Oh boy, this is gonna be tough. I don't think they're gonna win. In fact, I possibly think they're gonna tie or lose, but I honestly don't think they're gonna win.
Sporting Kansas City is one of the best teams in the MLS. Look at this. They've got Graham Zusi and Matt Besler. I don't care how old these guys are. These are veterans of the national men's team, and these guys are not to be underestimated. These guys know their game. And again, Iko Para. I mean, has he been in the national men's team? I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
He hasn't been called out. Yeah. Again, one of the best defenders out there. So, and you're telling me that Tim Melia is the second best goalkeeper in the whole league. So, yeah, I don't see them winning this one. I really don't. Hopefully the coach can pull us out of our rut.
Yep. All right, next match. This is actually becoming longer than I thought. We still have a lot of games. New England Revolution. At home game, DHS Park, Saturday, June 1st, 7:30 p.m. Now, this is where things start to get a little bit easier for the Galaxy after a really tough games, both Eastern and Western opponents. New England Revolution, the only big name I can give you from the whole entire team is Diego Fagundes, a really good midfielder. Do not underestimate him. He's a pretty good player. Other than that, I honestly don't see any other big names. So, will the Galaxy defeat the New England Revolution? I believe they will. Last time they won, I believe, 3-2. This game, I don't think should be any different. I do think the Galaxy can win. Hopefully, they do.
I'm going to make this is short and sweet. I love New England Revolution's logo. They're going down.
All right, just to speed things up. Saturday, June 22nd, will be 4:30 p.m. will be extremely interesting because it is when the first time in LA Galaxy history when they face the new FC Cincinnati, the new team coming into Major League Soccer for 2019. Now, this team, obviously, this will be the very first team that everyone in MLS will get to see. Obviously, not that much people know about this team, and in fact, they don't have an official roster, but they are building up their squad, and that's so far. Pretty much their whole roster is just the players that they used to have back in the USL, in the United Soccer League. And for those who do not know what the United Soccer League is pretty much the second tier, right below MLS in the American soccer pyramid. But as for the roster, it's pretty much the same roster as the USL squad, which are names which I don't really know. I think the only player that I do know is Fernando Adi. I think it's going to be an important player and a top player for the team. They acquired him on July 20th. Trade with Portland Timbers. So they got him from Portland Timbers. Fernando Adi, not a player you should pretty much overestimate. So I think this will be a tough game, obviously. FC Cincinnati. One key thing you should know that they won first place in their Eastern Conference in the United Soccer League. So here comes the question.
All right.
Besides these players that we don't know, but I'm pretty sure they're pretty good players, and including Fernando Adi, will the Galaxy defeat FC Cincinnati in their very first match against each other in MLS history? That's going to be a tough game. I want to see a tie. Possibly a win, but I kind of want to see a tie.
Oh, LA Galaxy's going to smoke these guys. Listen, I love the name FC Cincinnati. It sounds like a radio station, like you're tuned to KFC Cincinnati. And other than that, Bertone has the best first name ever. These guys, I'm sorry. Who are these guys? I hate to be mean. LA Galaxy's gonna win this easy one.
All right. Next match, Saturday, June 29th, 7 p.m. at Stanford Stadium against our old rival, San Jose Earthquakes at the Cali Classic.
Boo!
Now these guys, to make it as quick as possible, win. These guys suck. They have not. Do you guys remember the last time they went to the playoffs? I sure don't.
I should. Hey, remember that time they went to the playoffs? I
don't know. Oh, by the way, you morons! For those who have been like, "Hey, the Galaxy has had the worst record with 32 points." Guess what? The Earthquakes last season got 21 points, so beat that. San Jose Earthquakes won that record of worst MLS season by doing it last season with only 20 points. Or was it 21? I don't know. Who cares? But anyway, for the question, will the Galaxy win against San Jose Earthquakes? I completely say yes, to be honest. These guys, honestly, for me, suck. They haven't been good at all for the past, 5 years. I think this should be a really easy game for the Galaxy. Total win. Besides this new coach, obviously, let me remind you that this new coach used to be the coach from Chivas de Guadalajara, who won, third to last place in the league. So I honestly don't think how he will save San Jose Earthquakes this season. So to be honest, besides Chris Wondolowski, who I can't believe he's still playing in MLS, I thought he would retire. Besides Chris Wondolowski being the only big name of the team, I honestly think this should be a really easy game against the Earthquakes. So yeah, I mean, just because they've been longer since the Galaxy doesn't mean they're better than the Galaxy. So yeah, this should be a pretty easy game. Win game, hopefully, probably maybe 5-1 score, maybe with Zlatan. It should be pretty darn easy. All right, Valpo, he had to take a little break. He'll be back pretty shortly, but we have to continue on because we're already almost close to an hour. I did not think this would take long, and this schedule is becoming long. Holy shoot, we still have a lot more teams. Let's just speed things up. Next match, Toronto FC at Dignity Health Sports Park, Thursday, July 4th. Ooh, the July 4th game, folks. Put that in your calendars for Independence Day, July 4th, against Toronto FC, 7:30 p.m. Toronto FC, a team you should not underestimate as well. In fact, come to think of it, I do mean almost, because we can cancel San Jose Earthquakes from this list. Almost all the teams in MLS you should not underestimate, besides San Jose Earthquakes. Toronto FC, we lost against them the last time we played. We all know that. It was a 5-3 score. That game will be memorable, not because of the score, not because of the loss, but because the day when pretty much Zlatan scored his amazing karate kick shot, scoring his 500th goal. We will never forget that. That was an awesome moment. But we did unfortunately lose against that game. 5-3 score. And for the players, they have decent players. Big names, to be honest. We got Josie Altidore, who used to play for the men's national team. Michael Bradley, again, used to play for the men's national team. Lawrence Simon, who used to play for LAFC. He's now in the squad as well. Marky Delgado, he's a good player as well. Obviously, we cannot forget Sebastian Jovinko. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh, yeah, Gregory Van Der Wel. He's also pretty good. And Victor Vasquez, even though I think he's going to be going into a club in Qatar. But other than that, yeah, they do have decent players besides them not being at the top quality than last season. But for the question, just to speed things up, for the question, will the Galaxy defeat Toronto FC? I think this will be a tough game. Jeez. I think it will. You know what? It's gonna be a tie. Do not underestimate Josie Altidore and Sebastian Jovinko. I think this will be a tie for the Galaxy. So, but because it's Independence Day, the Galaxy could win. Since they're representing the U.S., I think they could win. So you never know. Next game against San Jose. This time, okay. Wait. Where did San Jose? Yeah, you know what? Forget it. Win. You know what? Win. Friday, July 12th at 8 p.m. at DHS Park. Win against San Jose Earthquakes. Next match. Oh, okay. And Valpo is here, so he can review about this one. This game is the games you have fear. Friday, July 19th, 7 p.m. DHS Park. Our biggest rival since 2018, LAFC. The Black Devils themselves.
The Black Devil.
Oh boy. Honestly, I just don't want to. I hate them, but I don't want to underestimate them. I honestly don't. You know what? Because I love this club so much, not LAFC, the Galaxy, because I love the Galaxy so much, and because I do have faith in the new coach, a win. I'm going to put my vote against the Black Devils on a win. A win against LAFC. Yes, I know we have pretty good players, including Steven Betashore, Eduardo Atuesta, Latif Blessing, Adama Diamande. Yes, that's his name, Diamande. Mark Anthony Kay, Lee Nguyen, Tyler Miller, Christian Ramirez, Diego Rossi, Danilo Silva, Carlos Vela, Walker Zimmerman. Okay, they're a decent team. Okay, I get it. They are a tough team. I get it. But I do believe we will win. Let me remind you, we have been undefeated by LAFC in the first season against them with 3 games. We tied both of them. We tied 2 games, but we won the very first game, the game we will never forget, when Zlatan made his debut and he scored that golazo. What I like to call the shooting star, chipping of the goalkeeper, scoring that huge debut goal. We won the very first match, the important match, because neither LAFC will forget that game. 4-3 win. Then we tied, I believe it was 2-2. Then for the last game we tied 1-1. So we do remain undefeated against LAFC. Hopefully that will still remain, because I do think we will win in that match against LAFC.
All right. So LAFC has a king in their hand, and that's Lee Nguyen, MLS veteran, national men's team veteran, good player. I like this guy. Their ace in the hole is Carlos Vela. I can't stand this guy. I really hate Carlos Vela, as a player at least. That's their ace. That's the guy who makes the goals. I don't care if LAFC beats LA Galaxy 30 times in a row. The minute Carlos Vela leaves that club's going to become the crap club that it is. Are they going to win? Who's going to win, LA Galaxy or LAFC? I, again, am taking a leap of faith. I'm putting all of my chips onto the new coach. I'm saying LA Galaxy is going to take the win on these guys. LAFC is not, I differ with you. This is a crap team. This is a crap team that gets too much publicity. They're overrated. LA Galaxy taking the win.
Good man. All right, next game, away game at Providence Park, Saturday, July 27th at 7:30 p.m. Portland Timbers. I think, yes, I know at the beginning this could be tough, but I do think it's going to be a win. I'm going to put a win in this one.
Ditto. Yes, me too.
All right, next match. Ooh, yes. The Barcelona of MLS, Atlanta United. Saturday, August 3rd, 2019, 1:30 p.m. Once again, for the second time in LA Galaxy history at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. People, do not, especially Atlanta, do not underestimate these guys. I am officially calling them the FC Barcelona of MLS. Let's review all
of Does that make us Real Madrid?
That would make us Real Madrid. Let's name all the big players. We got Miguel Almiron, who, technically, we do not know officially if he's leaving the club. But as of right now, he's in the squad. Ezequiel Barco, pretty good midfielder. Franco Escobar, a really good defender. Leandro Gonzalez-Piz, one of the best defenders of the whole team. Julian Gressel, one of the best midfielders on the whole team. And Brad Guzan, my friend. Brad Guzan is the third among the top 3 best goalkeepers in the league. So this guy, we should totally keep an eye out. He's like he has boosted his career by going to Atlanta United. So he should be one of the top players. We should really keep an eye out. One of the dangerous players in the whole squad, if you ask me. Kevin Kratz, good midfielder. Jeff Lernwich, he just played for the Galaxy, good midfielder too. And let's not forget the Messi. Or Ronaldo, forget it. Ronaldo of MLS, Joseph Martinez. He's staying in the club until 2023, I believe. Michael Parkhurst, good defender. And Hector Villalba, also really good forward. Here goes the question, and it is the moment of truth. Will the LA Galaxy defeat Atlanta United for the first time too? For the first time in Galaxy history, because we still remain on. We still remain on. We haven't been able to defeat Atlanta United. So here comes the question: Will this year? Will we for the first time defeat Atlanta United? I'm sorry, I can't say yes to this one. I think we might lose.
Yeah, no, we're losing to this guys. We are losing to this guys. They're a great team. And you know what? If as an LA Galaxy fan, if I'm going to lose to a team, I will gladly lose to these guys. This is my second favorite team in the MLS. After LA Galaxy, they got Brad Guzan, who I consider one of the worst international goalkeepers I've ever seen in my life, but he seems to be really good in MLS. So that's good for them, and they've got two of the best wonder kids to ever come out of modern MLS, which is Joseph Martinez and Miguel Almiron. Two guys that you do not want to underestimate. I mean, these guys will kick goals into the back of your net until the sun comes out. Right. So are they going? Is LA Galaxy going to win this one? Even with me, I keep going back to I'm putting my chips on the coach. They're not winning this one.
Next up, we got DC United, one of the old Eastern rivals with the Galaxy. They also one of the original 8 of the original 10. Wait, what? They are among the 8 of the original 10.
There you go.
Of MLS. So these DC United. In my opinion, is the Galaxy's top Eastern rival since day one of MLS. Why? I'll tell you why. Because DC United defeated the LA Galaxy in the very first MLS Cup back in 1996. And that's why I want to call
the original rival.
I want to say that's their original rival. Besides the San Jose Earthquakes, but as for the Eastern, that's the original rival. As for the club, obviously the big name is Wayne Rooney. But do not underestimate Kellen Acosta. They have Kellen Acosta. Oh, dang it, what else?
It seems like everybody with the last name Acosta is good. Just like Boateng.
Boateng. Yeah, Kellen Acosta. I forgot.
Ibra, meet this guy.
Zoltan.
Zoltan, read that one.
Let's see. Wayne Rooney. It was one other player. Wayne Rooney, Kellen Acosta, and Paul Arriola. Luciano Acosta, and Paul Arriola. Those are your 3 players you should really keep an eye out in this match against the Galaxy. Wayne Rooney, Luciano Acosta, and Paul Arriola. Those 3 players will be dangerous for the Galaxy. So here comes the question. Will the Galaxy defeat DC United? I actually want to say yes. If not a win, definitely a tie. But I'm going to put my vote into a win.
All right. Well, I'm not as big of a fan as you are with Acosta and Arriola. They're good. Whatever. Mostly, I think the team is a little on the weaker side. However, we have Ibra. They've got Rooney. Big fan of Wayne Rooney before he came into MLS. And he's one of those guys that just pulls out goals. He's kind of like the way I feel about Turbo Man Vargas. Like, he pulls goals that shouldn't have been pulled. It's like, whoa, how did he pull that off?
Right.
So that's the danger man in that team. Will LA Galaxy beat them? Yeah. Nope. Tie.
So we got a win and a tie. Next up, FC Dallas at DHS Park, Wednesday, August 14th, 7:30 p.m. To speed things up, I'm calling that one a tie. That's all I'm saying. A tie.
Sure. Yeah, same.
Tie? All right. Next up, one of the old Western rivals, Seattle Sounders.
Oh, we finally got the Sounders.
DHS Park, Saturday, August 17th, 7 p.m. That will be interesting. Let me remind you, they recently lost to Clint Dempsey. He has retired from the club. So they have lost Clint Dempsey, and I believe Marshall is also... No, wait, no, not Marshall. Jordan Morris. I believe he's also...
Morris, yeah.
I believe he's also out of the club. So for the question, but also Stephen Fry, he used to be the top goalkeeper, I believe, in 2016 when the Sounders won the MLS Cup for the first time in their history. And other than that, besides Nicolas Lodiero and Stephen Fry and possibly maybe even Chad Marshall. Besides Chad Marshall, Nicolas Lodiero, Stephen Fry, and oh wait, they do have Jordan Morris and Jordan Morris. and Ruidiaz.
What?
Yeah, that's his name. Roman Torres kind of sucks, so I'm not going to include him.
Yes.
So with all those players, that will be a tough game, obviously. The first time the Galaxy played against them in the 2018 season, they were humiliated with a 6-0 score, I believe. I don't think the Galaxy even scored a goal against that game. So they lost against that game. But then in the second match against the Sounders at home at StubHub Center, what used to be called StubHub Center, they defeated the Sounders with a revenge of a 3-0 score. So for the question, will the Galaxy defeat the Seattle Sounders at home? Yes, I do think they will.
I don't just think they're going to win. I think they're going to smoke the Seattle Sounders. I became an LA Galaxy fan when it was Donovan Keane and I'm missing somebody here.
Gerard?
And Gerard, but especially Donovan. We had Donovan. They had the guy Dempsey. And to be honest, listen, you're kind of gushing over these guys. They're all a bunch of who are these guys? Clint Dempsey was Seattle Sounders. He's gone. These guys are pushovers. We're creaming these guys.
All right. Next up, again, the Black Devils, biggest rivals of all time. Not of all time.
All time.
LAFC at enemy territory, Bank of California Stadium. What kind of name is that? You got LA Coliseum. You got, okay, I guess now that we're called Dignity Health Sports Park, we can share the lame names.
Yeah, I wouldn't talk too much, dude.
Yeah, never mind. Sunday, August 25th, 7 p.m., the last time the Galaxy will play against their big town rivals of 2019. Win. I'm just going to call it win.
Yep.
These guys suck.
Same here.
Win.
All
right, next up, again, the Sounders, this time at their home field, CenturyLink Field. I think win. Tie. You know what? Possibly tie, but we're going to go for win. All right, we're getting close to being done, folks. Wednesday, September 11th. Ooh, 9/11? A game at 9/11?
Wow. Who are they playing against?
I can't believe MLS allowed that. Wow.
Yeah, whatever.
Colorado Rapids, win. At Dick's Sporting Goods Park, September 11th on a Wednesday. Win. Honestly, I think win.
Win.
6 p.m., by the way. 6 p.m., September 11th, 2019, on a Wednesday against Colorado Rapids. All right, almost done. About 3 more games after Sporting Kansas City. At Dignity Health Sports Park, yes, you heard me. Sporting Kansas City on Sunday, September 15th, 7 p.m., SKC. I want to say, you know what? I think I want to say a tie. A tie on that one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you. A tie, too.
Next up, Saturday, September 21st, 7:30 p.m. at DHS Park. Again, a home match.
Again.
Once again, the Montreal Impact. These guys, they've kind of been easy. Last time we played against them, 2018, we defeated them with a 1-0 score, thanks to the goal by Ola Kamara. I want to see win. I think the only player that we should look out is Nacho Piatti. Other than that, I think we should win.
Yeah. I'm saying we're gonna win. Keep your eyes out for Piatti, but other than that, yeah, it's an easy score.
All right, third to last game of the 2019 schedule season, whichever, same thing. Wednesday at September 25th at 6:30 p.m. at Rio Tinto Stadium, Real Salt Lake. That's an easy win. Win.
Yes, win. I agree too.
All right.
You can tell this is the bottom of the.
Yeah, like
yeah. Me too.
We're just speeding things up. All right, Vancouver Whitecaps at DHS Park, Sunday, September 29th, 4:30 p.m. Win? Maybe? I don't know. It's going to be tough to tell. You go first this time.
All these are wins for me, except for the last one.
You go first for this one. Against Vancouver, what do you think?
Oh, the Whitecaps? Of course we're going to win.
I want to say tie, probably.
Oh.
I'm sorry, but
you have little faith.
I'm going to...
Oh, you've got little faith.
You know what? Screw it. Win. We're going to win that match.
Come on, laddie.
And last but not least, the same game we played for the last season for 2018. That's right. Houston Dynamo at BBVA Compass Stadium on October 6th, Sunday at 1 p.m. against the Dynamo. That's a win. Hopefully they can win, because last time they freaking lost their biggest chance to go into the playoffs in the last game of the season by a 4-3 score, or was it 4-2? I think it was a 4-2. But, no, wait, it was a 4-3. Yes, it was a 4-3 lost against the Dynamo. They made a comeback against the Galaxy. I couldn't believe my eyes. We were winning the game, and we finally lost. I couldn't believe my freaking eyes. But for this season, hopefully it will be different because, again, we have the new coach. So for the question, will the Galaxy win their very last game of the season? Yes. Hopefully they will. I'm going to put my vote to a win.
I'm going to be controversial and say it's going to end 1-1.
Really?
Yeah. Because I got to be like that. Let me wrap up my sentiments on this whole thing. Again, I'm Shlomoto? What is the guy's last name? The manager? Escaloto? Okay, I have faith that this guy, because of what you told me later in the week, I have faith that this guy's going to turn the team around. I know that Ibrahimovic is frustrated, and the team needs good management. It needs good defenders. So hopefully we'll get that wrapped up. And as soon as we can give Giovanni Dos Santos the boot, if we can bring in, what's this kid's name? Uriel Antuna.
What?
A Mexican winger that's playing in Manchester City right now. He used to play for Santos. They're looking to bring him in. Obviously, I don't know exactly that he's going to be replacing Dos Santos, but if we can bring in somebody good to replace Dos Santos, we are going to see. I say that this is going to be a really good year for LA Galaxy, and the Phoenix shall rise again.
Right. Also, also a big rumor, if you haven't heard, is that Diego Polenta, defender from Uruguay, the Galaxy is looking at signing him. And by the way, that deal is actually soon to be true because Kevin Baxter. By the way, this is news provided by Corner of the Galaxy. Kevin Baxter reported that Diego Polenta is only yet to sign. Like, the only thing that's left is for him to sign the contract, and the Galaxy are about to sign Diego Polenta. Good defender, so hopefully they can boost up the defense.
Here's the thing. Just like you know how mad I've been with the sentiment of not having American players on the national team that are from outside the U.S. I was like, if you're American, you're American. It doesn't matter where you're at. With Christian Pulisic, you know how pissed I've been at the fact that it's like he's not a true American or something like that. LA Galaxy needs to be smart about where they get their players. They need to recruit from clubs in Argentina, Uruguay, which is from the guy you were just talking about, and Brazil. Get guys that are from those three clubs, from those three teams, and you're going to see LA Galaxy steamroll everybody in the MLS.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much it, right?
That's pretty much it.
Well, guys, that pretty much sums it up. Next episode, which I do not know when, but it will hopefully be next week. Our topic will be on the crisis that the Galaxy are having, pretty much on the roster. Pretty much the roster, that's what we're going to talk about, and the crisis of which of the three designated players, Roman Alessandrini, Jonathan Dos Santos, or Giovanni Dos Santos, which of those three will the Galaxy get rid of? That's pretty much what we're going to talk about next, in the next episode, the roster and the crisis that the Galaxy are having. But as a little preview, who do you think will the Galaxy get rid of between those three players?
Who do I think they're going to get rid of, and who would I like? I mean, who would I like? Giovanni Dos Santos. Who do I think they're going to get rid of? Honestly, I hate to say this. I think management is dumb enough to get rid of Alessandri. I really do.
Nah, I don't think so.
I don't think they're going to break up. They made such a big deal about bringing in the other Dos Santos brother. I don't think they're going to split him up out of fear of losing Jonathan, who's a pretty good player.
No, I think Jonathan is staying. They could not get rid of this really good midfielder. It would be something so dumb.
I'm not saying that they would get rid of him. I think between both of them, they're getting rid of Giovanni before they get rid of Jonathan. But I'm afraid that they will keep Giovanni out of fear that they might lose Jonathan. In which case, who's the third person on the list?
Roman
Alessandrini. I'm afraid they're dumb enough to get rid of a player that's worth more than both of the Dos Santos brothers combined.
Right. Well, I mean, that is a preview, like a little short preview, but we'll talk more about this in the next episode. Other than that, that pretty much sums it up. Thank you guys for watching and listening.
All right, guys, we're out of here.
Stay tuned, guys, for more videos on the Futbol Galaxy channel. And I guess besides that, courtesy of my very good friend here, Valparaiso.
Have yourself a good Galaxy night.
Have yourselves a good Galaxy night.
I got it right this time. Awesome. Woo!